Greetings and Happy New Year, Easthampton, Southampton, Amagansett, and community. Welcome and thank you for tuning in to Café with Sandra K. It's 2022. It's a new year. It's time. It's time to refresh. It's time to renew. And it is time for new beginnings, which brings me to my very special and talented guest, Andrea Anthony. Andrea is the co-owner of the iconic lunch, aka the Lobster Roll, based in Amagansett, New York, and now celebrating its second location in Southampton. Welcome, Andrea.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure and an honor.
What an introduction. I love it.
Great. Well, Andrea, everybody loves lunch and everybody loves lobster roll. Please share with us the evolution of lunch.
It's been an interesting journey. It really has. And it started decades ago, 1965. My ex-husband and partner, we're great partners,
Fantastic.
Fred Terry, he actually originated the lobster roll. And I think that's noteworthy on the East End.
Yes.
You know, he started it on Eastern Long Island. And as we know, since then, it's kind of morphed. Chefs have taken it on, put their own twist to it. But it started at the iconic lobster roll in Amagansett. And it kind of moved on with us throughout the years.
Yes.
And, you know, our brand has grown. And really, that's all about moving through those decades and staying current. And that's what we've tried to do. We've stayed current with changing trends.
Great. Well, lobster roll lunch is iconic. It is iconic here in the Hamptons. It's iconic to locals, to summer residents, to day trippers, to celebrities. Speak to us. How did you and your team create such an incredible success?
Well, you know, I think what's most noteworthy is the team. Now, we all know we have a great location, but that just gets people in the door. Once they get in the door, you have to deliver. And you have to deliver again and again and again, consistently. Quality service, quality food, but what's most important is a quality team. And I'm so proud to say that our team is strong. We all have different strengths. We work so well together. Paul DeAngelis has been with us for, over 4 decades. I came on in '77. He was there 4 years later, and he's been part of our brand, helping us grow the brand. Fred has always been there, and we have Erwin Simon, who's joined our brand, who's a brand leader, and he's going to take us to new heights as we go in the future. But, you know, one of the things we do there, we talk about changing trends. You know, you remember years ago, it was all about singles in the Hamptons, Hot Dog Beach,
Sure.
You know, groupers and the houses.
Remember overnights at Hot Dog Beach? We were not supposed to be there, but we were.
But you were. And then people came to the Lobster Roll, and there were plenty of singles, and, you know, it was a whole different thing, lots of locals. But those people came back, and they had children.
Yes.
And then the kids came in more and more, families we saw. So we sort of morphed into a children's menu, you know, not just with a few items, an extensive children's menu. We had toys to keep them busy and color sheets and high chairs and all the accoutrements you need for children. We attracted children. We welcomed them.
Yes, you have a kids menu.
Yes, a
right
full
there.
kids menu, a color
Yes.
sheet, and, you know, we keep
Fantastic.
those kids busy so mom and dad and the surrounding tables can enjoy their times as well, have a good time. But what we saw happen, well, for example, we always had homemade desserts. That was my mother-in-law, Sarah Terry. She always did the desserts. And when she passed, for a short time, we ended up going to a farm stand on the North Fork, And we bought them for a while, but that really didn't work out for us. They didn't deliver. We had to pick them up. So I took on the baking. And that was,
Great.
God, in the early, I don't know, late 70s maybe, early 80s. Took on the baking, and that's morphed into all kinds of desserts as well. But I also think it's important to have homemade desserts in a place like ours.
Yes.
You know?
And yours are decadent, I mean, which we'll get
We'll
to.
get to that, right?
Yes. So,
Yeah. So, and then, you know, gluten-free. That
Yes.
became a big thing in the market. And a lot of restaurants like to stay away from gluten-free. Maybe they'll have an item or two. But it takes a lot of practice, you know, internal operations.
Yes.
You know, you have to keep people safe. So
and
one
I
thing,
know that people that are gluten-free are so welcoming of the fact that you have a gluten-free menu.
yes,
I mean,
and
it's
you know
huge.
what's interesting, most welcoming? They love the fact that you can get French fries.
Okay.
Because we have a dedicated fryer. And that means a lot to people. And there are certain items that we do fry, like our chicken tenders, you know, those are gluten-free and whatnot, our sweet potato fries, you know, obviously our lobster rolls, but we also have a whole menu, not just a few items that are gluten-free. And we go to great lengths to make sure we change gloves. Our equipment is separate. You know, we're very, very careful. So, you know, and it's kind of fun to be able to be there for those people. You know, there's always that person in the party that, you know, I can't eat gluten. They don't feel, you know, so singled out. You know, they can come in, there's a whole menu, and they kind of blend in. Even our gluten-free cupcakes, but we'll talk about that later.
So Andrea, another thing that is iconic to Lunch, the lobster roll, is the series, The Affair, by Showtime. Speak to us about how did that happen? How did they approach you? Because we know Allison and Noah met at lunch. They eyed one another. That's where it all began. So tell us about it.
Well, Sarah Treem grew up, you know, in the Montauk area, and she spent a lot of time with her grandparents, who happened to be very good customers of ours. And she came in when she was a little girl, and, you know, it's funny, she shared with me that her lifelong dream when she was a little girl was to be a waitress at the Lobster Roll.
Okay, there you go.
Which is funny.
That's
and she also
very
spent a lot of time at the horse ranch. But in any event, I think that's what, you know, we have a special place in her heart. So one day the production staff came in and, you know, they asked me, would you be interested in having us film? And one thing led to the other, and, you know, the series took its shape.
And how many years was it that they did filming?
I mean, it was actually 6 years for 5 seasons. They started the season before, and, you know, there were all different cuts and whatnot. So it was a long time they were with us, and, you know, we got to know them really, really well. They were a professional, just dynamic, great group of people to deal with.
Wonderful. Well, we have a special treat in store, courtesy of Showtime. Let's take a look at The Affair.
I was a happy man back then. When I look back, I can't tell you what happened.
Why don't you tell me how it began?
You guys here on vacation?
So they are.
Well, welcome to the end of the world.
Allison, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Noah, by the way. Allison?
You found me. Damn, I'm Sandy.
I can't stop thinking about you.
That's sweet.
Wow.
Steamy.
Steamy, hot, awesome. Great stuff. So, Andrea, from here, I'd like to talk to you about Southampton. How will the Southampton location differ from the Amagansett location?
The Southampton is our modernized retro theme, nautical. You know, the biggest challenge was taking over the diner and retrofitting the lobster roll in there. It was an amazing, amazing feat. Took a long time, but I think we nailed it. You know, we brought in reclaimed barnwood, you know, all the nautical things that you would expect, and we really tried to get that vibe. And, you know, I mean, I think we've achieved. Most people...
I've been there a number of times.
Yeah,
and
they walk in
awesome.
and, you know, so, I mean, it was quite a task. And, you know, it's a big building, and it enables us to grow our brand, to do all of the things we like to do to move forward in the future. So, you know, we've talked about products. You know, our chowders will eventually brand. We now sell lobster roll kits, you know, throughout the nation. catering we're able to do over there. You know, we're doing our apparel online. You know, we're getting into doggy
Nostalgia
apparel and
bandanas.
yeah, you know, we're really looking to grow our brand with other units, licensing perhaps. So it's kind of the pivot point to grow the brand further. It's a
Wonderful.
great location, as we all know.
Certainly.
So we're sort of at the beginning and we're at the end.
That's
So
right. It's where summer begins and where summer never ends.
That's right.
That's right. Well, very good. That's great. So, Andrea, I also know that you are very proud of the TV show, Eat, Drink, and Bake with Andrea.
Yes.
So, let's get eating, drinking, and baking.
All
What are we
right.
starting out with?
I think we should start out with the margarita.
I'm in.
All right.
I'm in. Let's do it.
There we go.
Go ahead, baby.
All right. So I have to tell you, I'm a margarita snob. This is my favorite tequila, Montequila. I obviously love the name. Okay. So we're gonna put our Montequila in our glasses. Now I didn't do salt because I know you're not a salt person with margaritas.
Yes.
Neither am I remember.
Okay, that's right.
So we're not doing salt, but we're doing 2 parts Montequila and 1 part Cointreau.
Great.
All right, and then we're going to top it off with our sour mix, which is lime juice, a little simple syrup. Okay. All right. Now, my bartenders are probably thinking she's not shaking it. And I said, I'm not shaking these on screen.
Right.
Because it'll be margaritas all over the place. So this is not a classic shake of a margarita, but it will do the trick, I promise. Okay. There we go.
Well,
All right, let's say.
cheers. Cheers to the new year, and cheers to the new location in Southampton, and cheers to let's keep growing.
All right, I'll drink to that. Thank
Yay.
you. Oh, Lord.
Wow. It's delicious.
Good, right?
It is. Yeah, it's really good.
Good
You
margarita.
don't mind if I keep drinking throughout
Of course,
the show?
help
No.
yourself. But you have some mixing to do.
Okay, it'll help me. It'll help me. Okay, Andrea. So we have our Montequila, our margarita, which is wonderful. Now, I know something that is very special you're showcasing is the lobster kit.
Yes, that's new to our brand. And we recently started selling across the nation.
Okay.
And you can either get a hot lobster roll or a cold lobster roll.
Okay.
So we have a sample of both.
Okay.
And
Let's
I'd love
start-
you to do the honors.
Okay, so what am I starting with?
Okay, so what you would get if you ordered this, you would get a pound of lobster meat.
Okay,
So
and
we're
this is
gonna-
for 4 people, correct?
4 people. Yep.
Okay.
So you're going to put that in. All right, give that a little stir.
A little stir. Okay, that's
Okay.
fun.
Now, this is the tricky part. Okay,
Okay.
2 little boutique mayonnaise jars come with a kit. So we're going to do those to taste. Some people like more than others. I will say that when I do it, I use both jars,
Okay.
but it's a personal thing. So you can go ahead with that other one. And again, the celery is optional. Not everyone enjoys celery with their lobster, but I personally like it.
I
Our
like it
brand,
too.
I think it adds crunch, a little
So I can
texture.
pour this in
Yeah,
now?
you can just pour that right in.
Okay.
And then this is the secret spice that we add. Comes in the kit, and we're just going to put a little bit in there.
Look how yummy that looks, everyone. Oh my God.
So you're going to give that a mix,
Okay.
and then you're going to stuff your roll. Now, a point
Okay.
about the roll that we should talk about.
Yes.
It's a split top bun,
Okay.
and what's important, I'm going to reach across here.
Sure.
What's important is that it's toasted on either side.
Okay.
So the middle is nice and fluffy and cold. So it's against the cold lobster meat, and the sides of the bun are nice and hot.
Okay.
So here's
So-
your spoon. So you can stuff your roll.
Here, you go ahead, sweetheart. You'll take over.
Okay. So we're just going to hold that like so. Oops. And we're going to put the lobster meat in there.
Look at the size of those chunks of the meat.
And a lemon.
A lemon.
To squeeze over the top. That comes in the kit as well, along with potato chips.
Okay, so there's a hot and there's a cold lobster roll.
So we have the cold classic, and then we have the hot lobster roll. And this is the same idea. You know, we provide butter in the kits and lemon, same thing, and the lobster meat. And of course, directions on how to prepare it, but it's very simple.
and this can be ordered online
Yep, can be ordered
or
online.
at the location.
Right, we provide both.
Okay.
And We're just doing one lobster roll here. But
Sure.
if you were to get it in the kit, you would have enough for 4. And there it is. We have the hot and the cold lobster roll.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
And our chowders.
Okay.
All right.
Let's take a look. What do
Let's
we?
talk about the chowders. So we provide 3 chowders. Okay,
Yes.
we have our Manhattan seafood, we have our lobster seafood bisque, and our New England clam chowder. And those are the 3 soups we sell, and it's sort of nice. This is one of our best-selling soups, a lobster seafood bisque, which is to die for.
I've had it, and I will say that what amazes me is the chunks of lobster meat
Yeah,
that is in the soup, and it's just delicious. It's not too rich. It's just wonderful.
yeah, it's nicely, you can see all those chunks in there.
Yes.
We try to load that up. And the Manhattan seafood chowder, same situation.
And what some of
Now
the
you see, I mean, there's scallops in here.
yeah, clams.
And you have clams, and there's shrimp, codfish. So it really is more of a seafood, a Manhattan seafood
Seafood.
chowder, some
Okay.
potatoes.
Great.
And you know, it's nice to have that because some people really do enjoy the lighter soup, and this incidentally is gluten-free.
Oh,
So that's on our
fantastic.
gluten-free menu, as well as the gluten-free lobster rolls. And these 2 chowders are not gluten-free, but you can
New
see
England
the
clam chowder. I
and the
mean,
clams and the potatoes, and we don't use bacon. You know, now with all these changing trends of eating, you know, you have people, they're vegans, they're vegetarians. We have a part of the menu that we've expanded in Southampton to accommodate those people. You know, there's plenty of protein choices for the people that are keto or paleo.
right.
And, you know, and of course, a gluten-free menu. So we really, you know, we try to touch on it all. We have lighter foods. Some people come in, you know, we sell a lot of lobster slider and soup.
Right.
So, you know, that's a nice item for someone that really wants something on the lighter side. They want to taste.
And you get the best of both worlds.
Right,
And
absolutely.
actually, I think that says that on your menu.
I think so, someplace. If it doesn't, it
Yes,
should.
good, right. It's the best of both worlds. And talk to us about some of the other most popular items. I know you have a fish and chips.
Yeah, the fish and chips, and it's interesting because we, you know, we follow the stats on both restaurants, and, you know, they're exactly the same. The fish and chips, one of our biggest sellers. Of course, lobster, the lobster rolls are 60% of the menu. But the other 40%, lots of clam strips. People
Okay.
love the clam strips. They love the fish and chips. Our crab cakes, you
Yes.
know, those sell very, very well. And of course, just the other items on the menu for those people that we've talked about that
Right,
don't
right.
necessarily eat seafood.
Well, you
Now-
have a classic hamburger. I mean, I've had the hamburger too, and I've got to tell you, it's absolutely delicious.
And you know, in Southampton, you know, we expanded the American favorites. We have the Wagyu burger, we have a turkey burger. You know, we really tried to expand that menu. And I'm always up front. I'm always talking to customers. And you know, the feedback has been, oh, thank you for having other items because my husband eats seafood, but I don't. And I like to
Okay.
be able to have other choices. So, you know, those are things we really listened to throughout the years. And that's really how you grow, you stay current, but you don't sacrifice your brand.
Correct.
And, you know, quality has always been of the utmost with us. If there's ever something that doesn't go right, and let's be honest, no matter where you go, if you're serving thousands of meals over the course of time, yeah, do things not go right? Occasionally, but we're open to it. You know, we let our customers know if something isn't the way you like it, speak up, and we will make it right. Nobody leaves unhappy. We hear
Right.
about it on premise. You will leave happy, whatever it takes.
Well, I noticed that about you, that you take a keen interest in everyone, in everything, in every product that you put out. You analyze it, you look at it, and you make sure it's just how you would like it to be.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot to be said for that.
Yeah, and as I said, you know, the team we have is strong. Simon Cascante, he's not one of our owners, but he has grown with this business. He's actually the owner of Montequila, and he's an amazing person. And he's been helping us along. He's also a tech whiz. You know,
Right.
he's multi-talented, and he's been helping us along with our brand and moving forward and also watching quality. You know, he'll jump in the kitchen. It's all hands on deck now. We're all there watching quality, grooming a staff, working out the kinks, and that's really why we started in the wintertime. We wanted a soft period to sort of work out the kinks of a new building, a brand new kitchen.
And before it starts, I mean, your spot is just incredible for people coming out now to the Hamptons, heading out east. I mean, what better way to break up the drive, frankly, than stop at lunch and have lunch.
Right,
You know,
absolutely.
I mean, it works.
And of course, as the season goes on, we'll be open more frequently, longer hours.
Yes.
But you know, it's so nice. The locals have just been so welcoming to
Right.
us. And one of the things I hear most often is, what's going to happen in the summer?
Right.
What are you going to do about the locals in the summer?
Summer.
And you know, we've been collecting emails because we want to do something special for the
Okay.
people that have been carrying us over the winter.
Right.
Because without them, it wouldn't be possible. The summer group isn't out yet.
Right.
And they have been so supportive, and they're so great, and we just embrace them.
Right.
So we
I know
will do
the
something
community
special.
is so grateful to have another location, a location in Southampton. I mean, I just took my daughter there the other day, and she's like, this is great. And she says, oh my God, and the bar, you know, it's just
Yeah.
a perfect place to
Right.
go meet your friends, hang out. It's comfortable, it's warm, it's inviting. It's got everything.
Well, it's great to
really
hear
does.
that. That's what we're shooting for, and you know, can't rest back on our laurels. It's a constant, every single day, dotting the I's, crossing the T's, and you know, our team's
Done a
on it.
magnificent job.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Now, we do have some desserts.
Absolutely.
Andrea's obsession desserts.
And I am obsessed with
right.
dessert.
Okay.
Okay, so these are some of the items we sell at Lobster Roll. We have our coconut cream cupcake. We have our Oreo cookies and cream, our chocolate cupcake, and we call that our lunch cupcake. The kids love that.
I
The
love
big
that too.
shark.
Honestly, that's
I
the
know,
one.
I think you brought one.
The first time I was there, I said, I've got to have that one. And I did.
Yeah,
It's great.
I remember that. And these are the gluten-frees, the gluten-free cupcakes. It's a chocolate chip cupcake.
Yes.
And it's either vanilla buttercream or the chocolate ganache. But I will point out, and I always tell my customers, it's okay, I'm going to brag about the desserts now.
No.
And I tell them that, you know, for the cupcakes we use heavy cream, you know, the frosting. It's real buttercream, real butter, real heavy cream. We use imported chocolate, you know, all the best ingredients. And, you know, we take
It's
pride.
delicious. Yeah.
But this baby,
This
that's
baby, what's
taken
this
over.
baby?
That's taken over. Well, we have to get the ice cream. So
Okay.
let me grab
Go
the
ahead.
ice cream
And
because
I'm having another sip, if you don't mind.
ice cream is definitely part of this dessert.
No, my coffee doesn't really go with it, so I'm just sticking with the tequila. for
I'd
now.
rather have the margarita. Okay, so this is our apple crisp, and it gets heated up
Okay.
and served with ice cream and a caramel drizzle. And I'll tell you about the caramel.
Yes, I know you're very proud of the
I'm
caramel.
very proud of the caramel. Okay, so it gets a scoop of ice cream, and let me move that to the middle. Okay, and our homemade caramel drizzle.
Wow.
And you know, it's funny, but it's sold so well that I think I will get into other fruit crisps, combinations of crisps.
that's a great
Apple
idea.
strawberry, apple blueberry, peach, you know, different types of crisps. See, people seem to prefer this above the crumb pies. So,
Okay.
you know, it's been kind of fun. And the thing about the caramel is it's so easy to make caramel. We take brown sugar,
Yes.
butter, it's only 4 ingredients. Brown
Okay.
sugar, butter, some heavy cream, and vanilla. And you throw the brown sugar, the butter, the heavy cream into a pot. You know, you whisk it up until it boils. You boil it for about 2 minutes, 3
Okay.
minutes the most. Shut it off, put some vanilla in, give it a whisk, and that's it, you're done.
Fantastic.
So why people would not make caramel
Well,
homemade?
now I'm gonna try.
Now you have to
Yes.
try. You just
Right.
eat it by the spoon. It's great on anything. In fact, we, you know, back at the restaurant, we put it on different cupcakes as well. So we have all kinds of combinations.
Might be fun
And
to put on fruit too.
Yeah.
Right? You can just put on fruit with
Ah.
some heavy cream and.
caramel is coffee. It's a good thing.
Right. It's a great thing.
It's a good thing, a beautiful thing, caramel.
Great. So, Andrea, anything else that you might like to share with us, with the audience, about your locations, your branding, moving forward, what you look forward to?
Well, you know, once again, we look forward particularly into catering and events. We've
Will the
turned
catering take place
in-house.
in-house
because
at
we
the
have
Southampton location?
Yes, we have this great room. We call it the Montauk Room.
Okay.
And, you know, we'll be catering over there. We turn so many parties away in Amagansett because we just don't have the sequestered space.
Okay.
So Southampton has allowed us to have extra space. It's a beautiful room. It's so big. We can do catering there, and we are doing a late night lounge. So that is actually in the process of sort of,
Fantastic.
we're thinking through that.
That's
But
fun.
We're going to
Yeah.
roll that out probably a couple of nights a week, a late night lounge. That room is great. It has its own entrance. It has its own entrance into the kitchen. It's sort of, off to itself, and it's really got a nice vibe. So we have a lot of exciting things really coming down the pike. Yeah.
Well, we look forward to it.
Absolutely.
The community looks forward to it. So I thank you, Andrea. I thank you for being here. This was a great day. This was lots of fun. I know that you have the branding of Amagansett. This is where summer begins. And now Southampton,
Where summer never ends.
and, which is great. So
Absolutely.
thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Yes, pleasure having you. Thank you, Showtime. Thank you, LTV. And up next, everyone, another iconic figure, Florence Fabricant, New York Times writer of Food and Wine, celebrating the Ladies' Village Improvement Society cookbook, Eating and Entertaining in East Hampton. Happy New Year, and thank you for tuning in. Kisses. Bye.